My Penn State USC preview. So Penn State's in the Rose Bowl. It's been a while since I made a video. Um, it'll be interesting to see how this game goes out. So I'm just giving you my preview. It's in 2 days, January 2nd, because the NFL games are on New Year's Day. Right now, Penn State's a 7-point underdog. I kind of disagree with that. But it is a home. It's basically a home game for USC. But don't underestimate how well this Penn State fan base will travel because they travel well, and they bought their tickets when the Rose Bowl came out. This might be 33-67, but it'll probably be 2-1. But I don't think it's going to be anything more than that because Penn State does travel well, and it is the Rose Bowl. Um, so that being said, I think that this should be a high-scoring game. Okay, USC is a hard team to read. See, I have a hard time making predictions, score predictions, especially in the beginning of the year. Like Maryland and Minnesota were very tough because I didn't get a good read on Maryland because of who they played. So Penn State was a 3-point underdog, but who Penn State played and who Maryland played really didn't work out so well. Penn State won by 24, and now you go, how is Maryland a favorite? People are going to be like, oh my God, how is Maryland a favorite against Penn State? It was a home game for Penn State, too. 3-point favorite Maryland. Penn State goes in takes care of business, wins 38-14. But people didn't know that then. USC, I don't know if this Pac-12 is quite. I don't get a good read on it because their USC's on an 8-game winning streak, okay? Which is good. It's very good. It's dominant. It's like Penn State with their 9-game winning streak. So, but USC, let's look at who they played. Okay, they played Arizona State, who was 5-7. They beat them by 21. Congratulations. Penn State played 5-7 teams. Actually, no, they didn't. They played 6-6 teams. They beat them by 14 and they beat them by 24. So that's pretty close. Colorado, they beat them by 4. They're 10-3. No, they're 10 and. Yeah, Colorado got murdered in the Pac-12. Yeah, so they're 10-4. And Colorado didn't look good. Colorado, I think, was very overrated for a lot of the year. They got lucky against Stanford. Stanford's gotten better throughout the year, just like USC. Then you have Arizona. You beat them by 24. 34. They're 3-9. Penn State beat Michigan State by 32, 33, and they're 3-9. So nothing real special there. Arizona's not a good football team. California, they're 5-7. Okay, that's not a good football team either. You beat them by 21. Congratulations, but that's not a great football game. But you won. So what I was saying, then you have Oregon. Oregon is 4-8. They beat them by 25. Okay, that's nice. Congratulations. Washington. I don't know how good this Washington team is. I just saw them play Alabama. They didn't look good. But nobody looks good against Alabama. Okay? Nobody does. Alabama's an amazing football team. And they're more than likely to win back-to-back championships because I don't think anybody's going to stop them. Clemson is not going to beat them, and neither is Ohio State. Ohio State's way too inconsistent, and right now they're losing 17-0 anyway. So Ohio State's not going to beat them, and neither is Clemson. Alabama already won the national championship, basically. I hate to say it, but they're going to win. Washington, we don't get a great read on because we don't know how good the Pac-12 was. But Colorado got murdered. Washington State lost to Minnesota. So they're not. The Pac-12's not doing so well right now. And Washington lost, but it's to Alabama. They didn't get murdered. They lost by 17. So it's not the end of the world because Washington performed actually not that bad compared to what all the other teams do. Then you get to USC beat them by 13, and it was an away game. That's pretty impressive. Okay, I have to admit that was a big win. Washington's a good football team, but I don't know if they're quite as good as what people think they are. And don't call me East Coast bias because they just lost to Alabama, and they didn't play anybody the whole year. Colorado doesn't count because Colorado's not that good of a football team. They just got their asses beat by Oklahoma State by 30 points. So I don't think that they're that good of a football team. But Washington deserved to get into the playoff, and I think that they're a good team. UCLA, they're 4-8. Not a very good football team. Notre Dame 4-8, better than all the other teams, but they're still you lost to them by you beat them by 18. Good job. Back to what I'm saying is the streak wasn't that impressive, but they're getting national notice because of that Washington win, just like Penn State is Ohio State. If Penn State didn't beat Ohio State, they wouldn't even be close to being here. They'd probably be in the Outback Bowl, being like number 20 in the country against 17 Florida. Okay? This game is going to be, I think, a high scoring game. The keys for USC to win is to get a good start. They get good starts usually, and Penn State gets terrible starts. Expose Penn State's O line, but that's harder than it seems to anymore. And their third key, I just have to say home field advantage. I mean, they should have a little bit of a home field advantage, and yeah. The three keys for Penn State will probably be exposing their secondary. From what I'm hearing, USC has a very good cornerback, last name Jackson, who's probably going to cover Godwin. Okay, that's fine. But we have Hamilton, we have Tompkins, and we have Gesicki. There's three guys. Gesicki's our tight end. But Blacknall is out. Blacknall had a great game against Wisconsin, but we have enough depth at receiver to make those plays. I've seen Irvin Charles make those plays, and I've seen Juan Johnson make those plays. So that's not a big concern, losing Blacknall, but I just wanted to point that out. If we can expose the secondary, that would be a big thing for Penn State against USC. Because if we don't do that, I don't think we're going to win. Because we did it against Wisconsin and we won. We did it against Michigan State and we won. We did it against Indiana and we won. Any team that wants to limit Barkley, which USC is probably going to try to do, we go to the air and we need to dominate. Because if we don't, we're not going to win the game. Number 2. How this team can come back. The power, the confidence that they're playing under. Number 3, the defense. If the defense can hold... Actually, scratch that. I'm going to make no turnovers because everybody's like, oh, Penn State played well, that great comeback, and we allowed 31 points to Wisconsin. USC has a better offense than Wisconsin. They average 32 points a game, 32.9. Wisconsin averaged about 28, I think, 28.9, so it's 4 more points. We could have beat Wisconsin by more than we did, honestly, looking back at it. It was 38-31, but we were really damn close to getting that next touchdown to make it 42-31. We were extremely close. We were at the 5-yard line, and Hamilton just didn't lean forward because he was being braced back. But we were really close. And that means that this team didn't 100% go to their potential. And there also was that fumble. We can't keep doing that. We did that in the beginning part of the year. If we didn't do that, we would have won this game 38-24. And that would have made it look a lot, bigger of a win. And I think that if we can not have any turnovers, I think that's going to go a long way in this football game. My final analysis, I don't know if I have enough trust in USC to win. I think Penn State has scored 39 points a game, USC 32. So Penn State should have that advantage on offense, but I think USC and McSorley are about the same. The passing game, Penn State's about the same. Running game, I think Penn State has a little edge. So Penn State has a little edge on offensive side. I think on the defensive side, USC has a little edge. Penn State's been averaging 23, USC 22. Which conference do I think is better? I think the Big Ten's a little better, and I think that you're going to see the competition that Penn State's been against all year. I think it's going to start to wear off. Now I know Michigan lost, and I know Ohio State's losing right now, but I still think that those teams are pretty competitive, and I think that you're going to see um, this game start out. It's going to be kind of hit and miss, and then it's going to be back and forth in the third and the fourth. I think I'm going to give it to Penn State. I think I'm going to take Penn State 34-31. 65 points, a lot of points is going to be a good Rose Bowl. I think Penn State has a little bit of an edge on the offensive side, and the defensive side, I think USC's got a little edge, but I think that Penn State will make some of those big passing plays, like against Wisconsin, to pull out this win towards the end part of the game. I think the Penn State defense can do enough to limit them and USC's passing game. So I'm going to take Penn State 34-31. That's a wrap for this video. And go Nittany Lions.